Hello and welcome back to the allotment plot. It's been really lovely weather actually. We've had some really warm couple of weeks with the odd bit of rain, which is quite good. It's actually raining now, quite you know, that really light rain that still gets you soaked. It's like that. But I've just come down just to do a little bit of harvesting because I knew that there'd be lots of tomatoes to pick, and there are still quite a lot of green ones, but we've got a lot of tomatoes. And I don't know if I'm going to say, no, I'm not going to say it. The plants look good. I'm not going to mention that other word to do with tomato plants, but they're looking all right, so that's good. The pumpkins I can see are turning orange. Anyway, what I'm going to do is going to do a little bit of a harvest. I'm also going to do a little bit of a tour and sort of bring you with me to harvest as we go. So I'm just going to get the secateurs. I haven't really come dressed appropriately. I've got like my Vans on, which are like, I don't know if you know, they're canvas type shoes, and the grass is very wet. So I have got some pumpkins or some squashes that I always think, oh, you don't cut them until like October, but they are looking nearly ready, I think. Well, some of them are. Let me turn around and show you. So these are Turk's turbans. They are very small, but you know, I'm okay with that. But that one's still a bit like yellowy. I don't know, sometimes we end up with some growing back here. I can't see any back there, but yeah, I mean, I don't know if this is ready or if that's got to go greener. I've had ones where they're greener on the bottom, so I'm not sure about them yet. Right, so here's some tomatoes here, and then I've also got some over here, and you can see where we've had a lot of sun and a lot of rain. Look at all the weeds coming up now. They don't come down for a week or so, and they just go boom. So I'm going to pick some of these nice big tomatoes. Now I think these are a variety called Cœur de Boeuf, which I can never pronounce properly, but it's that variety, which are nice big ones, and they are looking good. Now we did have some with a bit of I can't remember what it's called on the bottom of them, but the rest have been pretty good. So I'm going to do a nice big harvest of these tomatoes, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to roast them at home and make like a pasta sauce out of them, and freeze what we don't use. So I usually add in like some garlic, red onion, and the tomatoes, roast them all up, a little bit of oil, and then roast them, salt and pepper as well, and then blitz it and use that either for like, you can use it for meatballs, you can use it for pasta, you can use it like for spaghetti bolognese, anything you'd use tomato-y sauce really. And then, as I say, I freeze it and then use it through the winter. And then what I've done as well is I'm just cutting off the lower leaves, just so it can put all its energy into ripening off the green ones, and also just allows a little bit of airflow through there as well. And then I've just left the leaves on the top ones. Right, I'm about to dive into the cucumbers. I can see a couple there, but the trouble is with here is we end up with a comfrey plant that you can see that grows up behind, and we try and keep it cut back because it's a bloody nightmare to actually dig out, but we just try and keep it cut back. But obviously it's grown quite a bit, and also we have this bindweed that again we try to pull out, but it seems to be taking over a little bit. But I'll see what I can find in there. Not a bad little cucumber haul. I think I've mentioned these ones before. They're called crystal apple, so they are supposed to look like that. They are really spiky, but the spikes just knock off, and they taste really nice. And then we've got these ones as well, short and stubby ones, but they taste really nice. So we've got some chilies in here which are starting to turn red. Some of them have only just flowered. I'm not sure we're going to get anything off of these now. And then I also had some that I put in here, but yeah, they haven't done anything really. I don't know if they weren't great when we first put them in, or if, because this does get quite dry in here, whether they just weren't watered enough to get them going really. I'm just going to have a wander down to our sort of pumpkin and squash patch, which hasn't done as well as in previous years, although I can see some squashes starting to grow. It's just been very slow, so whether they'll be ready, well, I suppose they've got another few months anyway, but it's whether we have enough of the right weather for them. It's not great sun here. We have beds where we've made into no dig, so they're all new compost and manure. But then we have other beds like this one, which I'll show you in a minute, that hasn't had much put into it, and I think it probably needs something put into it because, as I say, the stuff isn't growing as well. But that could also be because of this tree and this tree. We did cut some branches off, but maybe not enough, so it only has between there and there for the sun to come on onto it, which when we've had really hot summers, that's been enough. But where it's been, you know, more cloudy than sunny this summer, that has an effect on how well they grow. But I can see some squashes, so as long as there's some, then I'm happy. So I'll show you. There are some weeds growing in between, but you know, that's what happens, doesn't it? So I've just spotted these two little ones. If I follow the sort of the vine all the way back, oh, there's another one there. That's good. That's 3 off of one nut. Fine. Then I can see what variety they are. But if you grow squashes and stuff, you know that the plants are quite spiky. So I try not to go rooting around too much because I end up with them all in my fingers. So as I say, I'm not too sure how far back it goes. I mean, look at the flowers on this. I think this is a courgette. But they are all male flowers, which is not what you want. You want some female flowers, which that looks like a female one there, down there. Because that's what gives you the fruit. So yeah, I'm growing more courgette flowers, it seems. Yeah, all of these ones at the front are courgettes, and they're just all male flowers, which is a bit frustrating, but it means we haven't been inundated with courgettes this year. I have spotted some more squashes. So there's this one here. So I think what we've got in here, we've got some sweet dumplings, we've got some honey boat maybe, we've got some harlequin, we've got some I can't remember what else now. This one's looking nice. Let's see if I can find, this one hasn't gone, well, this is a spaghetti squash, this one. I don't know what colour they go, so I'm not sure when that one's ready. Got another little one there of some kind, and another little one there. Oh, and another. Oh, it's so exciting when you find them. Oh, and another one there. Right, so I think they're all spaghetti squashes. So we've got a few spaghetti squashes. Yeah, I can't remember what else we put in here. I know my crown prints are on the other plot. Right, I'm going to have a little dive in. I think I've spotted quite a good one, but I can't work out how to get to it. It almost looks a bit like a tromboncino type thing, but I know it's not. It might be a kind of like a butternut. I don't think we've got any butternut squashes in here, but we've got another one variety that's similar. I can't remember what it's called. I'll see if I can find the tag for it, but let me show you this one. I've just seen this two. There's two. So there's that one, which is probably not far off being ready. That's not the one I saw actually. This is the one I saw. But yeah, considering last time I came I couldn't see any, I'm pretty pleased with that. It's a nice little wasp having a munch on an apple down there. It's fallen off of the tree from the plot next door. Right, I'm going to try and work out what squashes these are and I'll let you know. Right, I just found a tag, and as I found it I was like, oh yeah, of course, I knew that. They're called Tahiti melon. We tried to grow them last year and we had them, but they were tiny. But yeah, they look like butternut squash and they store like butternut squash. So quite excited about them ones. I've just cut a few brambles back because they were impeding from the plot next door into here. I'm just leaving them here because I haven't got my gloves on, so I'm just using the secateurs to move them. Right, I've also got another couple of Turk's turban, which these might be ready as well. I never know. How do you know when they're ready? I'm not sure. Let me show you. It's got this smaller one here and then this bigger one here. Now this one looks gorgeous, but as I say, how do I know when it's ready? I suppose probably that, I think that one probably is. I don't know whether to pick them or not. I might do. I might leave them another couple of weeks, but yeah, quite pleased with them as well. Right, I'm heading back up to the other end of the plot because I've got some courgettes and some patty pan. We've had quite a few courgettes, quite a few have got big, but we haven't had millions, which I'm quite pleased about. We've had just enough that we can use them without thinking, oh my god, we've got to eat another courgette. So yeah, I'm just gonna pick a couple of these and I'll show you once I've picked them. So I've got 3 different types of summer squash here. So I've got like a traditional courgette zucchini. I've got these wet lighter coloured ones, which I can't remember what they're called, but I always seem to think they're called Lebanese courgettes, but I might be wrong. And then I've got the patty pan squash. So yeah, again, one year we had so many of these we were like couldn't give them away. But last year we didn't have, I think we probably had one. This year we've not had loads, but we've had just enough. But I have got some on the other plot, so I haven't even gone to the other plot yet. But I think I've picked everything that I can from here. So I'm going to walk along to the other plot. I'm just looking to look at these green beans. So they seem to be growing quite well. So they're growing up here now. I have noticed as well I've got some blackberries that are on these thorns that come from the centre of the plot, so I might try and pick some of them as well. Why not? Free food. So this is the other pumpkin squash patch that we've got, that is a no dig bed, so it is all just pure compost and this manure, and you can see it's, well, there's a lot, there are still weeds in it, but not as much as in the other one. But there are also some nice pumpkins and squashes, which I'll show you. So we've got a marrow down here. This one has decided, this pumpkin arch is supposed to be for Jack Be Little. Well, they just didn't grow, and I think that's happened the last couple of years now. So I think maybe I need to regenerate the soil or plant something else there, and then give them a chance another year. But this one, which I think is a honey boat squash, so it's got one down here and it grows up here. It's got one here and then one here. So, you know, it did get used for some squash, if not what it was meant to be. Right, I've got another one here. As I say, these are all honey boat ones. Another one there. Another tiny little one growing through there, but I don't think it's a honey boat one. That might be a harlequin squash, because there is some harlequin squash. I remember planting them there. And then, can you see through there, the orange? Let me see if I can get through. Now, there are some stepping stones, but obviously the plants have grown over them, and I don't want to tread on them. Right, here we go, let me show you. So that's probably another one of them, Tahiti melon, maybe. That is a jack of all trades pumpkin. So that would be good. That's a nice pumpkin pie. This massive plant in the middle is actually a courgette plant, but again, it's grown massive, but not produced anything. Like loads of flowers, but all male flowers. Not one courgette off of this plant. I don't know if we've got anything else. I did have some crown print. Oh, there we go. There we go. See that crown print through there? Right, I'll go around the other side and see if I can see a few more. Right, I think I can see 2. Oh no, 3. So we've got this one. Ow, I want to just got stung on my knee. Always, this always gets stung. A little one there, the big one through there. There's something here, I don't know what that is. But oh, something else through there. I think that's another honeybone. Oh, I can see another jack of all trades, which is going in between these. I'm trying to get in there. That is a bigger one. That is nice. So that's perfect. My knee hurts. I always get stung, always. Usually on my hand because I don't wear gloves, but I always get stung somewhere. Ow. Right, let me show you some more stuff. Right, this apple tree here has got some beautiful, I'm assuming these are cooking because they're massive. They have got some little blemishes on them, but they'll be fine. But again, I'm not sure how you know when they're ready, because obviously if they're cookers and you bite into them, then they're not going to taste very nice anyway. And this one's rotten, so let's get that one on. Look at the wasp in there. You right there? Enjoying that? At least we're keeping someone fed. Do you see what I see? Look at the size of that. That's the best cauliflower we've ever grown. I wonder if I should pick that before it starts to... Oh, another one. Hang on, let me go in. Look at them. Beauties. I wonder if I can find any more. This again is another no dig bed, so everything's done really well. There's another small one coming through there. And then these are all cabbages, so something has started to eat the leaves, which is annoying. No, I don't know if that's caterpillars. I don't think it is, because if it's caterpillars the whole lot would have gone. I think it's probably slugs and snails. But these have got cabbages, so can you see through where they're starting to go into, I don't know what it's called, like cabbage shape. So there's some there. And then these massive ones here, I can go in here, are cayolettes, so they're looking nice and big. Obviously no cayolettes on, they won't be ready till about December, if not after actually. But yeah, that'll do us for some winter. As I say, some cabbages over there. If we take off the outer leaves, they're looking quite good. And another one. That's 4 cauliflowers. I'm going to pick one now, and then I'll leave one for Mum. But what I don't want to do is leave them, then they get really wet and go rotten. So I am going to pick maybe 1 or 2 and then leave 2 for Mum. Or in fact, I might just pick all the ones that are ready and drop some off to Mum so that she can have 1 or 2 as well. So that's really exciting. There is another cauliflower up here, but it is tiny. This little one, look at him, little diddy. This bed hasn't done as well. You can see, look, there's not anywhere near as many leaves in here. Yes, these ones were planted slightly further apart than the other one, but this isn't a no-dig bed. Just shows that well, not just because it's no-dig, it's because all the compost just shows that by feeding the soil and giving it lots more nutrients, things do grow better. But oh, I've got some raspberries here. We have autumn raspberries, so they're all coming ready. Anyway, got distracted. It's just, it costs a lot of money unless you've got a load of your own compost, which we do have some, but nowhere near enough to cover all our beds. I've got something in my glasses. So we have to buy some, and obviously that's expensive, so we can't afford to do all of the beds, so we have to pick and choose. I feel a bit sad for my kohlrabi because they were pretty massive, and something's just burrowed into them, which is a shame because they were looking good. I just didn't come and pick them quick enough. So these are our raspberries. We have a few summer ones, but most of them are autumn ones. So they're all starting to come in now, so I'm going to pick some of them as well. It's good to have both because then you have a more constant supply of raspberries. See, some of them have gone over actually. Got a handful of cucamelons to go in the pot. I've just picked some runner beans, which are getting, hang on, my glasses are falling down. I tend to like them smaller than this, but I've still picked the ones that aren't too big. Dropping them. And then the ones that have gone too big, what we do is we leave them on the plant and leave them to dry, and then we save the beans that are inside for the seed for next year. So then that's one lot of seed we don't have to buy, which is always a bonus. Got another marrow. I should have bought a bigger box, to be honest. I'm not sure I'm going to carry all this. I've got to get the cauliflower out yet. But yeah, I need a bigger box. I've got boxes in there actually, but I'm not sure if they've got wet and not sure how sturdy they are. Let's have a look. Might be better. We'll go out backwards now. So I've got a bigger one here. It's starting to fall apart, but hopefully it'll be enough to get it home. Oh, nearly dropped it. Oh, God, it's getting wet. So, let me introduce you to I think this is probably the first cauliflower we've grown to successfully at the allotment plot. I think Mum might have grown one at home, or a few at home, but I think this is the first proper one. We've had ones that sort of grow and then they bolt or whatever, but look at that, it actually looks like a proper cauliflower. I am so pleased. I probably could have left it a bit longer and it would have got bigger. But there are some others there to leave as well, but I was just too excited. I wanted to pick it, and that's my dinner tonight. I'm actually really disappointed. I was so excited about my cauliflower, and now I'm a bit worried about everything that's under that netting because I've cut the bottom leaves off. Can you see by my thumb? 2 little caterpillars, and that great big green thing in the middle. There's another one. And there's some inside. Why? I could probably still save some of it if I cut all the actual floret bits off. So that's what I'm going to do, because I'm eating this thing. Right, so this is what's left of the broccoli. Obviously it does need a wash because there's all bits of leaves and stuff on there. I've taken out hopefully all the caterpillars. I'll give it a good soak and a good wash when I get home. So hopefully I have managed to salvage some of it. As I say, I'm just a bit disappointed and worried about what's going to happen to the rest of the stuff in there, but you know, it is what it is. There's all my tomatoes, loads of tomatoes, courgettes. I've got some apples. I don't know if I said on here or if it's what I just said to my mum, but I said about we thought one tree was a crabapple tree, but I've just eaten one and it was really nice. So I think they're just small apples. So I've got some small apples. I've got a load of plums because I'm going to make a plum and apple chutney. I've got some kale, which I'm going to take this stem out, add some salt and some oil and just crisp it up in the oven, and it's really nice like that, crispy kale. It tastes a bit like seaweed, but better because I don't like seaweed, but I like that. And a few berries, not a lot really. Yeah, so thanks for coming along with me and harvesting lots of stuff. I'm quite surprised at what I've got. I am going to go and pick, I just remembered, a couple of them cooking apples that are at the front, because I can't remember if the recipe for the chutney says eating apples or cooking apples, but if I have both, they'll get used anyway. If not, you know, there's always a crumble. Love a crumble. So thank you for coming along. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you all next time. Bye.